they did was they used this Watch What Happens Live interview of Patti LaBelle where she was very clear in saying Luther didn't want people to know he was gay. Andy Cohen asked her the leading question, like, did Luther want people to know he was gay? Why didn't Luther come out? And she answered the question, right? She should not have answered that question. Mm-hmm. Luther did not want her to answer that question. Luther spent his whole life not answering that question.
Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all don't know how old people work.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I ain't surprised. I just don't like
know, Mark.
Yeah.
You know, old Patty don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but especially some old person that really loves you and think that you might have been embarrassed for no reason or thinking that you know what I mean? Like, they'll tell.
Yeah.
You think she did it without the love, without having him in her
I don't
heart?
think that her intentions were bad.
I think she had good intentions.
Yeah, I think she had good intentions, but I also think that at her age and as long as she's been in the business, like, diplomacy has to have, like, you know, kind of kicked in, and it didn't.
I think that vodka was kicking in. I think she was on the show, she was drinking, and she got loose. I mean, Quincy Jones did the same thing, not the drinking part, but toward the end of his career, he started saying, "Oh yeah, that Richard Pryor, yeah, he used to suck dick." You know, he was. I mean, that's literally what Quincy Jones was doing. He was talking. You don't do that shit. That's not okay.
I feel like Quincy Richard Pryor outed himself though.
Right,
but Quincy is different than what Patti LaBelle did.
Right, he told some stories about people.
Quincy wowed out.
He did.
Patti LaBelle,
they had to hide that nigga for years. They had to hide
like, yo, this is my friend. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He might have felt, because you know back then too.
Yeah, being gay
homosexuality
today and
got looked at
totally very different.
Yeah, but Luther died in 2005. It wasn't like he died like in
20
the 70s.
years ago.
Yeah, but if
it
in
was still looked at
2005
away in 25.
And he was the man in the 80s. Luther was the man in the 80s. He died in 2005, but that wasn't at the height or pinnacle of his dominance in the music industry.
It kind of was. I mean, it wasn't, and it was. It was his most crossover. He died right as he got his first #1 overall hit.
Dance with My Father.
Dance with My Father.
Yes.
So the idea is now the whole world knows who he is, and he still didn't want the world to know he was gay.
Nobody care about that white shit. I'm talking about
Luther did.
Luther.
No, I'm with
Yeah.
you.
What are you talking about? Dance with My Father? You don't disrespect that record. We told
I'm
you.
not disrespecting the
Yo,
record.
your
What I'm
niggas,
telling
man,
you
you
is
Imani.
Luther Vandross in the 90s was black royalty.
Yes.
So fuck Dance with My Fathers. We looked at that nigga as something different from his catalog prior to that.
And he didn't want those people in the 80s, 90s to know he was gay.
That's my point. So now Patti LaBelle comes on an interview. Patti LaBelle's giving an interview saying, yo, whatever you was doing that you might have been ashamed of, it was nothing ashamed of that, and let it go.
That's not her choice to make.
I'm not.
But he's dead.
He's dead.
Joe, if I told you right now, I got a secret.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want anybody to know. It's not a secret. I'm Muslim, right? So if I don't talk about religion in public, right? I don't want anybody to know. I just talk about it off air, right? Mm-hmm. So when I die, you can just go tell everybody?
No, you just moved the goalposts.
You did.
How?
If you tell me a secret, and I hold that secret down, and the world learns your secret, and then after you're gone, the question is posed to me with your secret, I'm going to answer the question.
But especially if it's a different world where
here's why I'm sorry,
I'm just saying if it's a different world where people are now more
accepting.
Right. And here's why that doesn't fit to me. No one has ever confirmed Luther's sexuality in public except Patti LaBelle.
That's true.
It wasn't like the world discovered he was gay and then she said, well, why didn't he come out? No one has. When you look at that whole documentary, I've read every article. I
haven't seen it.
No friend of Luther Vandross has ever confirmed his sexuality.
He's right.
Luther asked every single friend, or assumed every single friend, to not reveal his sexuality. So it wasn't like the world found out and then she just answered the question. That I can respect.
So we just assumed that he was gay.
So you've swayed me with that.
So she confirmed the assumption.
No, because
He swayed me.
he's right. If Luther told every single person, yo, I don't want y'all to tell.
He literally has said that. If you ask Roberta Flack, if you ask, you can't ask Ouija board to ask Aretha, but if you ask anybody else who's alive,
then you're right.
Yeah, that's my only thing. It's like you can't do that. That's my only issue.
You swayed me. I'm
okay,
with you now.
If he specifically asked them, yeah, then you're right. I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
Because even in death, honor his wishes. But I get you're right.
Now, Patty's people are coming out now saying they feel like they were made into the villain, though. In the film, they make it seem almost as if America or the world had no consciousness about Luther's sexuality until she said something about it, which also isn't fair because the world knew Luther was gay. I mean, there came a point where the world began to feel like Luther was gay. Maybe not in the 80s and 90s, because my mom. No, I'm telling you, there's a lot of old black women that go to church that don't know their man is gay. They don't know their deacon is gay. They don't know their pastor is gay. There's a lot of black people who like to be in denial about sexuality.
They knew Luther was gay.
Some did. I hear about Freddie Jackson too. A lot of people tell me they didn't realize it until 20 years later. And I'm not outing Freddie Jackson. I think Freddie started to talk about it.
I think you outed Freddie Jackson.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I never heard that. Freddie's my man. I never heard that. Yeah.
I didn't hear that either.
Careful when you say that's your man.
Shut up, Ish.
I never heard that. Freddie Jackson.
About Freddie
gay?
Jackson?
You Really? Wow. Yeah.
For old time's sake.
Hilarious.
Did y'all,
You are my lady? That was to Luther.
was Whitney ever out?
Oh shit!
All right, no, it's been a great show.
That's crazy.
What's wrong with you,
What's
Moss?
wrong with your man?
That book is done for. That whole shit.
I'm talking about Mark.
I can't wait to read that book. I'm trying to find a way to.
That's a bad question to ask.
Yes.
What?
Was Whitney gay?
I heard she
Robin wrote a book about it.
I heard she was bisexual. Well, we know she. Yeah.
My public answer is that that Whitney has had friends, like Robin, her best friend, say that were in a sexual relationship.
Oh, okay. She did.
She talks about their sexual relationship and their love
Oprah's
for
not
it.
gay.
Nigga, this whole place was shut down. I have
He don't
no
give a fuck.
knowledge.
He
about
challenged
Oprah
everybody. Yeah, can't stand on it, nigga. Yeah.
I never heard nothing. About
You
who?
haven't?
About her being
Oprah?
women? No.
With Gail.
Allegedly.
Those are the rumors.
Never heard.
It's been a great show.
Yeah,
I
sleepers.
mean, I